Are you here to find out how I got pregnant? Period. Welcome back to the channel. You must be here to see moi. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. So, as you can see from today's topic, I'm gonna be telling you the story of how I got pregnant with my beautiful, amazing daughter. Before I found out I was pregnant, that whole month before that, my whole friend, plus classmate, kept telling me pregnant. Every time we talked and I told them something, or I did something, or I did something on the floor, they would say I was pregnant. Me, I was studying cosmetology, learning how to do hair, makeup, facial, and all that. And I was really interested in learning it, and I wanted to finish it. Prior to that, me and my baby daddy, we broke up. A situation happened where it got a little out of hand, where I felt so disrespected that I was just like, okay, maybe it's time to focus on me. So I end up ending stuff and blocking him and everything. And I think that's the main part that got him tied to where he started denying my kid, but that's more into, y'all understand more when I get into the story. So they kept telling me I was pregnant. And it took me a week to basically like, okay, I gotta get my head in the game. This is about me, forget him. I block him and everything, forget him. I told my friend, it was Friday, and we have Sunday and Saturday off. It was Friday. I said, let's go to your crib and chill and just have fun. Like, let's just be women and all that. So we invited two other friends. One ended up coming with us. So it was just the three of us. We were smoking, we were drinking, and we were just chilling. So Saturday and Sunday passed. I was feeling kind of dizzy, not really and I was like, damn, I must have drank too much or whatever the case was. I ended up staying in for Saturday and Sunday. Monday come, I have to go to school. I did my makeup, I got all dressed up. I wasn't feeling well. I felt like I wanted to throw up. I got headache, dizzy, my body was weak, but I was like, I can't miss school. I'm almost done. I gotta get to the bag, and I had a whole paper of my plan. And I guess the reason I made the plan was because I took something out of the picture. So now it's just like, okay, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. So this is what I gotta do. So I was just like, I'm not missing no more days of school. I got 4 or 5 months left. Why am I doing I was just focusing on it. So I got on the bus and I took the first bus. I was feeling hella terrible. So I called my doctor. And she said, yeah, you could come and walk in. And I went to do a walk-in. They said, oh, we busy today. You can't walk in or whatever. And I said, I really don't feel well. So they said, you then go to the ER. I didn't want to go to the ER and just sit there for hours and hours and whatever. So I went to the store and I bought some water and I drank it. I felt a little better, but then I started feeling really dizzy to the point where I couldn't even walk. So I went and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back home. I'm waiting for the bus to go back home, and I really couldn't stand. And I was just like, all right, I have to go to the ER. But the ER was 15 to 20 minutes away. So I was like, no, I can't, and I can't. So I went on my phone and I said, the closest clinic next to me. And there was just a clinic right on Jamaica Avenue for people that lives in Queens. right on Jamaica Avenue. So I just followed the map and I walked there. I explained to them my situation and how I was feeling and all that. And the lady at the front desk was like, oh, did you take any pregnancy tests? And I said, no, and I don't think I'm pregnant. I didn't want to tell them I was drinking and smoking, but I was like, what the hell, I had to. So I told her, I was like, I was smoking and drinking on Friday. It wasn't like a big party or whatever, but like, I think that's affected me, because since after that day, Saturday and Sunday, I was just not feeling well. And today it got worse because I had headache. I felt like I had to vomit. Like, I just explained every side effect I was having. The lady ended up was like, okay, I'll sign you up and then you can explain to the doctor what you're having, but all the signs you explained to me are pregnancy signs. And I said, that's impossible. I went upstairs, I sat in the chair, I leaned back, and I was on my phone. Like, I started searching up all the signs I was having, and all of them kept saying pregnancy test. But in my head, I was denying it so bad, because one reason is I knew if I was pregnant, it would be his baby. And number two, the way we end our relationship, I know the fact that if I went and I told him, hey, I'm pregnant, he was gonna either deny it or whatever the case, or be in his feelings. So I was just like, no, it can't happen. Like, I can't be pregnant. So after the fact, the doctor called me in and she said, what's going on? So once again, I explained to her all the symptoms I was having, and she said the same thing. Those are pregnancy symptoms. And I said, okay, but I looked online, it could be other stuff. And she said, yeah, it could be, but from what you're telling us and the way you look right now, it's pregnancy symptoms. So she was like, I was just like, I didn't even let her finish up. I was like, no, it can't be. I can't be pregnant. Like, I was just denying it. She was like, well, okay, we still gotta make you pee and do a test either way, but we'll do all the tests to see if anything is wrong with you. I said, okay. I peed. The lady went to the back for like 20 minutes, called my name, and she was like, so I was right, you are pregnant. My face was like, I said, huh? She was like, you're pregnant. I said, that's impossible. And then she was like, well, did you have sex? And I said, yeah. Did you use condom? I said, no. And then she was like, did he come inside you? And I said, yes, but I took plan B. So back to this part, the plan B part. Me and my baby daddy had sex 3 times. And I took plan B back to back. And every time he came inside me, I took a plan B. I had a birth control, you know, the one they put on your hand. I had that on, but my grandma found out, so they had their whole belief, and it was kind of reacting to my body at the same time, because I started feeling like, you know, my face I started having acne, and then I started feeling bloated, like my body wasn't getting used to it. Like, I would be itching most of the time. So when I told my doctor, she told me that my family could be right, that I had to take it out. So I did take it out, and then she was like, maybe you need to find a birth control that's better for you. The pill didn't work. The insert in the arm didn't work. What else did I try? I never tried the shot, because I just was like, I don't want to get shot every month or whatever the case was. And I didn't also want to put anything up my vagina, because I read online that some of those things could go further up into your body and break into little pieces. So I wasn't with that. But when I told her that I took plan B every time he came inside me, or whatever the case was, she was like, there could be 2 reasons why it didn't work. I said, okay. She said, you either took them back to back, or you took one and the time already passed. Basically, I was too late taking it. The first one, I was just like, Plan B is supposed to work no matter whenever you took it. You know, like, even if I take it back to back, it still gotta work. That's triple the work. But I believe the second one was, I probably took the last or the second one a little too late. But when I found out I was pregnant, the clinic was just a few minutes away from my house. I ended up taking it to my actual clinic, make an appointment, and then I walked home. When I was walking home, I was thinking, I was happy. Personally, I was happy because at the end of the day, it was an angel going inside me, like a blessing. But I already knew what my family was gonna think and all that, and then the whole situation that just happened with my baby daddy, like, stuff just started going back and forth in my head, and I was basically just like in cycle. Before I did leave, she did give me a liquid to drink and a pill, and then she told me to call back the clinic if I wanted to either have an abortion, abort it, or if I wanted to keep it, whatever the case was. But while I was walking home, I text my cousin. I said, I'm pregnant. She was like, what do you mean you're pregnant? Like, and I was like, the doctor just told me I'm pregnant. Like, I don't believe it. She was like, if the doctor's saying you're pregnant, you gotta be pregnant. So basically, I'm texting her the whole time. She was like, when you get home, you gotta be here. We gotta talk. So when I got home, I went upstairs and I saw her talking on the phone, and she hung up the phone, and then she said, Francesca, what's going on? I said, oh my gosh. I said, I went to the doctor. I wasn't feeling well this morning, and she told me every symptom I was having was was because I'm pregnant and I'm not eating right, or whatever the case was, and all that. Like, but my head was just like, I wasn't believing it. So we started having a serious conversation, talking about God perspective, and then how I wanted my life and what I'm gonna do and all that. I felt like I wanted an abortion, even if that's not like something I believe in. And the reason I'm gonna say that was because I wasn't ready to have a baby. I wasn't ready to be a mom. I didn't think I could do it. And the way my family was raised in their belief, and mainly because I didn't want my child to be raised without a dad. And that part was the main reason. After me and my cousin was finished talking, she ended up calling her husband and told him, and he stopped talking to me. Then I had to tell the one person that was by my side since day one, and I knew it was gonna hurt her, that I'm 19 and don't even have a 4th degree yet, that I'm pregnant. And I think that was the hardest part for me, when I had to tell my grandma. At first, the word did not want to come out of my mouth. My cousin was in the dining room, and me and my grandma was in the living room. And I said, Grandma, I have to tell you something. And she said, what? I said, I wasn't feeling well today and I got sick and I went to the doctor and they told me, and the word wouldn't come out of my mouth, and I asked my cousin to say it and she said, no, you gotta say it. I said, they told me that I'm pregnant. She was like, huh? Because she didn't hear me, because I whispered it, and then I said, they told me I'm pregnant. The way she said it, it sounded like she wasn't mad, but I knew she was. She was like, that's your business now. You're gonna have to grow up and handle what you gotta handle and all that. And I was calm at first and I was happy she wasn't mad. But then after a few weeks, her true feelings started showing. And she kept it 100. She told me how she felt and everything. And that part helped me a lot. But then I had to basically keep my pregnancy for a little secret, not only because I didn't want to tell people, but I had to respect them because they kind of like, I wouldn't say famous, but their name is really out there and I be with them in their events, so I wanted to kind of keep it low key. And me and my grandma got into this argument and I was just like, forget it. And I posted on every social media, and then that's how people started finding out. But before people started finding out, I remember my cousin was like, so I went to the kitchen. My cousin was like, so are you gonna tell him? And I said, no, I'm not gonna tell him, because we just end up stuff in a bad way, and I just don't want to go on a bad term, or he denying it her, or whatever the case was, because I already know how he was gonna react. And she said it was not my choice. I had to tell him either way, if he wanted to be in the picture or not. I waited a day or week. I think it was about half a week. I text him. I blocked him from Facebook and I text him. And like I said, he said, no, that was not my baby. He ended up going back with one of his ex, and she came in my inbox and I told her to mind her business because I didn't email her or text her, whatever the case was. But at the end of the day, it's between me and him. She basically was standing up for him, and I understand. So I tried to keep getting in contact with him, but it wasn't working, so I let it go. Let it go. And eventually we started talking about it, and he started denying it, and then talking about it and denying it. And then when it came to me being 5-6 months pregnant, he actually texted me and was like, what? And I said, I want to talk about it. I said, I'm not asking you to be in her life or to support me or whatever the case was. I'm ready to be a single mom, but I need you to know and accept it. And since day one, when I first text you, DNA test was on the table, and it still is on the table. I think at that point, he started taking it in, and it got to the point where we were talking about kind of sex it was and all that, and I guess he started to accept that it was his baby. But yeah, that's how I got found out I was pregnant. I feeling really terrible, like I was dying. And the saddest part was telling my grandma, because she took us in. She supported us when she barely had any money in her pocket for herself. And I think that's why it hurt me to tell her. But then she ended up staying by my side the whole pregnancy. Okay, but thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe, and definitely that's just part of my story. There is definitely more coming, more topic, and I definitely can't wait to share with y'all. Like I said, keeping it real with y'all. Tears, messy face, the truth, all the way. Girl, go comment and leave a note. Bye. Okay.